Hey everybody, this is chapter 11 or lesson 11, and this is the Human Resource Management in Healthcare course. Okay, we are getting very close to the end. After this, we only have this lesson and then one more after this, and then we're good. So we're coming close to the end of the quarter, and it's gone by so fast. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but goodness gracious. Anyway, so in this lesson, we're going to be looking at diversity and inclusion. Okay, we're going to look at dimensions of diversity, how we value differences amongst each other, and working in teams and psychological safety. All right, so let's get started. So, definitions. Let's get some terms straight. Okay, so first let's look at diversity. What is diversity? All right, so for many years, diversity has implied mainly race and ethnicity, but its meaning has expanded to include a much broader scope. Diversity is essentially all the different types of people, okay? So it's not just race and ethnicity, okay? We're gonna look on another side and look at like all the different dimensions of diversity. So we would include people from different religious groups and people of different age groups, people of different walks of life, okay? So all the different kinds of people, that is diversity, all right? So not just race and ethnicity, but all the different dimensions of people, okay? So, and then inclusion is going to refer to creating an environment where we welcome and encourage the diverse perspectives of employees. So in the workplace, inclusion is, or in any setting really, inclusion is including all the differences, okay? Embracing all the differences among us and just welcoming and incorporating, everyone's different perspectives, everyone's different thoughts, whatever they want to share, because everyone has something different to contribute. Okay, there's no standard of what's right or what's wrong. It's just, we're all a little bit different, and that's really a good thing. I know, especially years ago, as a child when I was growing up, and whenever they want to talk about diversity and things like that, they're always focusing on let's look at how we're the same. That's how we can get along with people. Let's look at the reasons why we're the same, and that'll make us care about each other and get along. Maybe it'll get us to get along, but you're also excluding what makes that individual them. Okay, what makes them unique and special, and you're forcing individuals to suppress certain parts of them just so that they can be accepted in society, which is ridiculous. It's not good. That creates a lot of problems for every human being mentally and emotionally, and we should not have to be doing things like that. What makes us different is what makes this whole world so amazing and beautiful. Okay, so you weren't put into this world to be the same as everything else. Okay, if we were all the same, if everyone had the same ideas and we all had the same religion, the same culture, the same this, same that, we wouldn't be able to progress as far as we have. Okay, because it takes like outlandish ideas and people from different walks of life and who had different experiences and who bring all of that to the table, and that is what we can grow with, and we can take that and use it to expand and come up with new inventions, new innovations, new policies, just new foods, fun stuff. We can do a lot of creation with that. So diversity, what I think the main thing I want to say about diversity and inclusion is diversity is pretty much like the count of, or just all the different types of people, all the differences that are out there. Okay, and inclusion is what we do with that diversity. Okay, we include it all the differences, all the cool stuff, all the unique things about everybody, and build something with that. Okay? So only through inclusion can we actually reap the benefits of all this diversity that we have. Many organizations out there like to have a lot of diversity on their team or in their organization, in their business as employees or whatever, not necessarily because they want to use their differences or whatever they want to leverage, like what they can bring to the organization. It's more about just checking off boxes and being like, okay, well, we got one of those. We got one of those. All right. No one can complain. We're diverse. But what are you doing with that diversity? Inclusion, many organizations do not focus too much on inclusion, but also many organizations do, and we're waking up and we're realizing that this is a better direction to go. We need to include everyone and, everything that, all the uniqueness and things that people can bring to the table. So, many organizations that are large, that are really making it, that are even new as well, they are going into the direction of inclusion. Okay, like it's not enough to just have a bunch of different people. You have to do something with that. Okay, so moving on. Here is just a list of different dimensions of diversity, just to kind of put in perspective what counts as diversity. It's not just having different ethnicities. It's a whole array of things. So go ahead and look at this list if you haven't already, if you had no idea what diversity meant. There's some different dimensions of diversity to go ahead and pay attention to that. Okay, so many people in the workplace, if there's a lot of diversity around and, they might have a different mindset about that and they might feel that they don't like it. Okay, they don't like things that are different from them or different from their opinion, different from the way that they think, and they just don't resonate with that and they're just not very open to being okay with things like that. So it's really hard to progress as a business when you have a lot of people who can't overcome their own biases to all this diversity. It's very hard to be inclusive. Okay, so this is the frame approach. Is this just one approach that you can use if you feel that your own bias, you want to overcome your own biases and start appreciating all these differences, or if you want to help other people overcome their own biases. Okay. So first of all, F in frame stands for figure out the facts. Okay, when there's someone different around you, figure out what's real. Figure out what the actual facts are. Okay, maybe someone has a different religion than you, and you're just you don't like that because it's not the same as you. So you're not okay with someone believing something different, and you might have all these misconceptions about what their religion is. Okay, so figuring out the facts helps so much. What is actually real about their religion? Okay, because many times, especially we can get all these weird ideas about some religion, and that might not even be true at all. Okay, so figure out what the actual facts are. All right, and reflect on that reality. Okay, then A, acknowledge an open mind. Okay, so acknowledge that you have an open mind. You're being open to these ideas. You're being open to who this person is, and those differences that you have. And then work on maintaining that open mind. Okay, try to keep it going. All right, don't digress and go back into your little closed-minded hole. Let's try to work on keeping that mind open. And then that way you can expand your experience. Okay? It doesn't mean you're agreeing with them or you're becoming part of their, religion or anything like that. It just means you're open to learning about them and appreciating that for who they are. Okay? Anyway, next, how does an organization change their culture and start to focus more on attracting diversity and then doing something with that diversity, being inclusive? Okay, so there are some key steps that an organization can take to foster a culture of inclusion. Okay, so first of all, you can create a civility and respect value statement. You know, just how organizations will create their own mission and value statement and things like that, and they might have it postered all over their organization. They're going to have it on the website. They'll probably repeat it at, you know, meetings and whatnot. And they really want to get that statement into the mindset of their employees, so that their employees will buy into that and their employees will live that, you know, especially when they come to that job and that'll be part of their work culture. It's the same thing here. So if you want to foster a culture of inclusion, a very inclusive culture, what you can do is create a civility statement and respect value statement, and then put that out there. Okay, repeat it, you know, at your gatherings, in your meetings and things like that. Put it on your website, hang up posters on the wall, you know, try to make that part of your employees' culture. Okay, that statement. So that way they'll feel like inclusion is normal. Okay, it's part of their culture. Also, you can develop your own diversity and inclusion council at your organization. So if you feel that this is definitely a step in the right direction, you need to go ahead and create this whole new culture of inclusion, then start a council. Okay, pick different diverse people of different backgrounds and have them form a group. Okay, you also probably don't want everyone coming from the same department or different. You know, you want their jobs to be different. You want everything about them to be different, right? And then you want to bring them together and have them come up with ways this actually goes into the next step. So you're going to have this council offer they're going to come up with educational workshops, training on diversity and inclusion. They're going to come up with maybe activities that you can do and things that will foster this inclusive culture for the organization and really put it in people's minds. And over time, your culture is really going to be into this whole inclusion thing. Okay, that's going to be like what helps you guys thrive. Okay. All right, moving forward. Psychological safety. Okay, so many teams are multidisciplinary and they're also diverse across many dimensions and things like that. When you build teams in an organization, you kind of get a little bit of everyone in your team. Now, to get all the benefits of this team, all this diversity, you really want everyone to feel safe to express themselves, to share their ideas, to be open. No, because you want the organization to benefit from everyone who's part of it. Okay, no one's sitting there useless. You need them to be part. You need to know their talents and their mind and everything like that, and we need to put it all together and work together with that on your shared mission, your shared goals, whatever you're trying to do. So psychological safety is super important in this respect. Psychological safety can be defined as the belief that one will not be rejected or humiliated in a particular setting or role, and describes a climate in which people feel free to express relevant thoughts and feelings. So this is where people can feel comfortable and safe enough to express their thoughts, their feelings, share what they have, share what they have to give, okay, what they can offer. This is the only way that an organization can really, this is how an organization can really reap the benefits of having all this diversity. Okay, so anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this lesson 11, and if you have any questions, please let me know. You know how to do it, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson.